everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood cameraman. While Melissa is preparing the peaches, I'm going to show you how to set up the burner. Now, if you were like me and grew up in the city, this is a foreign object, and there's a mystery about it. And everybody warns you when you buy propane that it's dangerous. Well, guess what? It is, but if you follow some simple steps, you'll be okay. We were. So basically, you buy one of these at Walmart for about 50, 60 bucks. Just make sure it's got a good hose on it, good connections. Go to your local either grocery store or hardware store, buy one of these guys. At first it'll be about 50, 60 bucks, but you just trade in the tank and you get propane the next time for, I don't know, about 20 bucks maybe, something like that. But anyway, the main thing is you want to keep this, the light source or the heat source, as far away from the fuel as possible. Therefore, you have this. So basically, you just go ahead and you twist this on, and it's pretty foolproof. You're just not going to be able to cross thread it, and just get as tight as you can with your hand. And if you're not holding a camera, you should be good to go. And make sure everything's nice and tight. You make sure the vents are open. This allows the air to pass through here and up through here. And this is the valve to turn the propane on to transfer to this setup. And then this valve allows you to pretty precisely increase or decrease the propane. But to be safe, you got to make sure that these connections here are all safe. So what you do is get some water and you put some dishwashing liquid in it. Get it all nice and sudsy. And you dab the solution on all the connectors. And if there is a leak anywhere, let's just do this for the heck of it. This is a new setup about 2 years ago, but it's always cool to be safe. And then you just look to see if there's any bubbles coming up anywhere. And guess what? We are in luck. None whatsoever. So now it's safe to turn this on. So you turn this on, and guess what? Yeah, that's right. Nothing's come out there because it needs to be turned on here. So it's kind of weird because you're doing it counterclockwise to turn this on, but to turn it on this valve, you do it the opposite direction. Now you can hear it coming through there. You get your handy dandy little lighter. Voila! So that's how to safely hook up one of these contraptions. And you can adjust the flow, increase, decrease, by going clockwise to increase, decrease, counterclockwise. Now, just need to fill your basin 2/3 full of water and put it on the flame and wait till your wifey is ready to bring out the peaches. So that concludes the cameraman's blow-by-blow commentary on how to set this up. So if you got any questions or comments, just leave it in our little comment section, and like us if you like us, and don't like us if you don't, but we hope you do. Bye-bye.
So here we are outside at the final next to the last step, I should say. And that's putting it in the canner. John so graciously came out and ahead of time and got everything hooked up and started the canner for me. Started it boiling. The reason why I do this outside, there's a couple of reasons. First off, I have a glass top stove, as you might notice from the earlier in the video, and it is not at all recommended to use any kind of cookware other than completely flat bottom cookware on top of that. And these canners, of course, are not flat bottom, they have ridges. Now you could use a large stock pot, and I have done that for smaller jars. Use a stock pot on the stove inside and can, but not for the quarts. For the quart sized jars, I do them outside. Plus it's a really nice day, and by this time I'm kind of tired usually, and so it's nice to just sit and relax while I'm waiting for the process. So basically, we brought this to a rolling boil. I'm gonna grab my jars one at a time. I'm gonna put them in. And of course, I'm going to go across from each other for counterbalance. It's important. It's also important as to why these jars are hot, because you can see it's rolling boil. That was the half full one, so I put that in the middle. And honestly, I probably could have done that in just a pint, but I just did half a quart. So we'll be a tiny bit off balance here, but I'll probably actually just move this one over. All right, so down in the water they're gonna go. Yeah, okay, these aren't too hot, so down in the water. And you wanna make sure that the water covers your jars by a few inches. So it's in, it's boiling, the lid's going on, and I am setting my timer for 25 minutes. Maybe I'll have John set the cell phone because my timer's broken. Yeah, John will have to set the cell phone. We'll see you in 25 minutes. Okay, so the timer's gone off. I'm gonna turn off our propane here. Close it up. Okay, so then we're gonna open this up very carefully. Just gonna lay it down here. You want to be very, very careful taking these out because this water, of course, is boiling hot. So you're gonna take out your jar, shake all the water off, put it, I use a box to carry my things in and out. I put it in my box, and then it's very important now when you take these out, you want to tighten these as tight as you can get it. And that's very important. That's going to help with the seal. So you just take them out one by one, put them in the box, and tighten the lid. I should rephrase that. It shouldn't say as tight as you can get it. You're going to tighten it so it's hand tight. You don't want to over tighten it. Now some of these you'll notice there's space at the bottom, and that's quite all right because once this cools down and seals, the fruit will settle to the bottom of the jar. So, drop my towel. All right, so I'm gonna get the rest of these out, get these tightened up. They're gonna sit overnight on my counter. I put them on a big wooden cutting board, set them overnight on the counter, And tomorrow we will check the seal and see if they're ready to put in storage. So here we are back in the kitchen. It's been 24 hours. Our jars have been sitting overnight. We're going to take the bands off and we're going to check the seals. And if everything worked correctly, we should have nice seals on our jars. So take the first one off. I'm just going to do a little pull like that. Pretty good amount of pressure. That's good. That's good. Good. So, success. We have got 6 sealed quart jars of peaches. Very, very happy. Occasionally I do have a seal failure, but nope, this is great. If that does happen, I just put the ring back on and I'll put it in the refrigerator, and that will be the first thing that we eat when we want peaches. So again, these are the seconds that we picked yesterday from over at the orchard from the box. We saw where the half bushels were $25, but the box was $8.50 for the seconds because they weren't as pretty. And yes, the box of seconds is smaller than the half bushel, but if you put 2 of those second boxes together, it's about the same amount as that is in the half bushel. So for $17, I got a half a bushel of peaches that we were able to can, and that savings, that difference to me is worth it. Plus it's something that I enjoy doing, and I know that it has been grown and harvested using organic methods. Although the particular orchard we went to is not certified organic, I know from speaking with them that they do use organic methods as much as possible. Plus, if you were to buy a similar size jar of peaches at the health food store that was raised and harvested and canned organically, you're going to pay probably, last I looked at our health food store, anywhere from $2 to $3, sometimes $3.50 or more for a jar this size. Whereas these jars ended up being around $1.57 a piece. So that is actually a really good savings as far as I'm concerned. Sorry, I have to laugh. Our dog is in the living room shredding paper, so we're putting him to work. He's getting stuff ready for the recycler. Anyway, also yesterday I threw away the pits and the peels. Sorry. Oh, he makes us laugh. But you can use the pits and the peels. Well, there he is, our helper, looking for the next bit of recycling to shred. The pits and the peels. The peels I gave to the chickens and the pits I discarded. Well, you can make a jelly out of those. You can take those and boil them in some water and get a juice and then make peach jelly. There are a lot of tutorials online that you can read on how to do that, and I would like to try to do that sometime because that even gives you more of a cost savings when you can even use those scraps that are thrown away normally to get something else out of. And then canning outside. Yesterday I had mentioned that there are a few reasons. I only named one, being my glass top stove, but the other reason is I like to try to keep the heat down in the house as much as possible. So by the time these are ready for the canner, I've already heated up the syrup, I've already heated up the lids, I've already heated up the stove for the jar. So to keep the heat down, because I'm going to have these boiling for about 25 minutes, we just take it outside and do it over the propane burner outside. And by that time, you're usually kind of tired, and it's nice to just sit down and relax and just wait until your jars are finished processing and gives you a little bit of a break. So if this has been helpful, we ask you to give us a thumbs up. Also, you can check us out on our blog at stonehouse.club. That's stonehouse.club. Tells a little bit about why we're doing what we do here. And we just want to encourage you to remember to do what you can where you are with what you have. Everybody can do something to be a little bit more self-sufficient.